the
March
musicals, the
Dadness,
90s.
March Dadness, March Madness, March Dadness. Welcome to the March Dadness episode of World's Greatest Dad. Here we are. Ollie has no idea what I'm talking about, but yes, it's March, and we are capitalizing on the topical nature of March Madness. March Madness is a basketball competition that happens every year between 68 teams. That's right, 68 college teams qualify. Single elimination, one loss, you're out. Games happen constantly over 3 weeks. Tons of underdog upsets happen every year. But why do we care? Because there's brackets and gambling and commercials and fun and college pride. That's March Madness. Now let's get into March Dadness. Pew, 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 pew. Enter. Well, maybe we'll create some sort of open. I don't know. What do you think?
It's good. It's real good.
Yeah.
For a guy who isn't into sports, maybe
Yeah.
was this your years at Food Network where someone had to explain to you how Tournament of Champions worked because it was completely built out of March Madness,
No.
and you were like,
No.
"What is that? What is that like a sale? Is that a mattress sale?"
Okay. I'm not into sports. Like, I am not into sports for the love of the game. I'm in for all the other stuff. Super Bowl halftime show. I'm interested. Commercials. Yeah, sure. I want to see, Matthew Broderick and Cameron, reunite for a
Mm.
Ferris Bueller reunion where they're paid
Got it.
millions of dollars to sell us a car. I'm in. Similarly, uh, you know, gambling is a great way to get me invested. And the March Madness
Do
bracket,
you have the itch to gamble? Are you a
no,
gambler?
no, it's not. It's low stakes, right? Like I can do $50. I'm not going to go spend.
That's gambling. That's gambling. You're a
You know,
gambler. I finally found your vice.
everything in moderation, even moderation.
Yeah, I that's something I don't
Yeah.
do. I don't
So
really
anyway, this
gamble.
is to say the way in for sports for me is storytelling, great stories, like the Mighty Ducks, as you know, Little Giants, Rookie of the Year, sports movies for kids, or what appeal to me, Space Jam. Come on. Or gambling. And so March Madness has some good storytelling, I think, decent storytelling, right? It's over a fixed amount of time, and I kind of respect the fact that you can follow it. It's so clear. It's just this guy versus this guy versus this guy versus this guy. Up, they advance. Okay, and it's just it's so simple and mathematical. And so, what better way to talk about the importance of being a dad than through brackets? Doesn't that make more sense?
Like
What
the
is
All
our
Valley Karate tournament from Karate Kid. Just like we're gonna elevate fatherhood by eliminating dads.
Well, I didn't say that. I'm just talking about like what are dads interested in, and so why are brackets a great way to tackle some of the hard things that we talk about? And when I say hard things, I mean I'm talking about hard topics of parenting. I mean I'm talking about who's the greatest TV dad ever. You know,
Yeah.
what is the best dad snack, right? I mean,
Oh yeah, that
what
makes
is the
sense.
quintessential dad hobby? Like the important
Hmm.
stuff of being a
Yeah,
dad.
got
Not
it.
like how to listen to your kids or deal with when they're going through those teenage years or talk to them about hard things. I'm talking about like the stuff that matters to
Yeah,
us as
yeah,
dads.
yeah,
So
yeah,
what do you
yeah.
think? Should we do March Dadness?
I mean, well, we could just scrap this entire episode. You know what? F it. Let's stay the course, Neil. Much
Okay.
like fatherhood, stay the
Uh,
course.
I don't think you're very excited about this, but that's okay. I'm gonna.
I'm just playing a role.
All right. Okay.
Oh.
Okay. Here we go. So, can you see the screen?
You spent a lot of time on this. I would have to be a real heel to
Yeah.
just to say no to this. Look
No,
at
it's
that.
too big. It's too big. Look at this beaut.
A
Look at
lot
this
of font,
beautiful,
a lot of
beautiful thing.
colors.
I gotta make a
Yeah.
full screen so you don't have to see my Canva.
It's literally off of the canvas.
Well, so that we could do it in real time. I thought
It's
it
a
would be more.
working doc, everybody. You're
Yeah,
right.
I thought it would
You're
be more
right.
fun this way.
Oh my
Okay.
God. You know what? Sponsor money, Canva. This was brought to you by Canva. This is
Yeah.
how this is how creatives survive. In a new changing media world, Canva keeps you
Hmm.
ahead of the game.
That's right. Canva. 29.99 a month. I don't know if that's the real price. I just made that up.
Yeah, I
But
don't even
with
know
the
how mine
code
works.
WGD, you can get it for 29.99 a month.
Totally.
We don't
Yeah.
actually have a working code. Don't enter that. It won't give you a discount. But Canva, we're here. We're ready for your call. Um, we're waiting. What are you
Okay.
waiting? All right, let's dive
Man,
in.
I'm excited to do this. This is
Here
great.
we go. Welcome to March Dadness. The
Yeah.
first tournament in March Dadness is the greatest TV dads.
Okay.
You can see they've all been seeded. A seed, by the way, is just based on your record, your likelihood of advancing. Oftentimes, you'll find a number one seed or in a number two seed playing against each other, but sometimes a number eight will do really well and make it to the end. Ollie, are you familiar with the seeding process?
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, my biggest problem is the character names I don't know.
Okay, I'll
Namely,
help you out.
yeah. Okay.
I will help you out. So let's start. Um, our first matchup is the number one seed, Phil Dunphy
Hmm.
from Modern Family, played
Okay.
by the wonderfully talented Ty Burrell, against the animated buffoon Peter Griffin from Family Guy.
Wait, Ty Burrell. Wait, hang on. Let me make sure I know. You know, it's funny. The first one is oh, this guy. Okay. So what's great is with this matchup, this is like real March Madness, where I'm like, I've never even heard of this school. This is a college. So, I've never really, I mean, I've seen the short forms of Family Guy and I guess to a degree,
Okay.
very small amounts of Modern Family, but I'm pretty noob on this. Like, I
Okay.
have no stake in this.
Okay.
No.
Well, I mean, you know what? I should clarify too what the rules are because this isn't an actual game with points. This is a kind of a debate format. And so, in order to make it fair, do you have a coin on you by any chance?
I mean, jeez.
Some sort of circular disc with a
I
with
could
a head
flip
and a
a
tail.
GameStop gift card, you know?
Can you find a coin, or I can go to my kid's piggy bank?
Oh my God, you
We sell.
really want me to find hard cur Oh, you know what? I think I've got a peso in here somewhere.
Perfect.
Hmm.
All right, and we're going to leave this to you. So the way this is going to work, Golly, the rules are, we each get four overrules. So
Okay.
a winner is declared by a unanimous agreement. But if we can't agree on a winner, we can use an overrule. Now, if we both want to use an overrule, if we feel really strongly, then we go to the coin flip. The coin flip, and I'm trusting you to tell me the truth, Ali. This is an honor system.
Yeah, I'm not
The
gonna
coin flip will
fucking.
determine the winner uh, of that match, except for if we disagree on the final champion of a bracket, we will go to a best of three coin toss. How does that sound?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Uh-huh.
I was paying attention, and I
Hmm.
mean, what am I gonna do? Like, debate you on the rules? I just listen to you, Neil. I'm a listener.
Just saying no cheating, no cheating.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right,
yeah, yeah.
Country versus Peter Griffin. Who do you got? Who do you got on this matchup?
You know what's funny is again, I have not really watched either show, but I've watched Modern Family even less. Peter Griffin, I kind of get, and the thing is, do I have to take this as like who I like or who I think is a better dad? You know what I mean? Like,
Well,
is
it's
that?
all kind of subjective, but who's going to put numbers on the board of this fictional game we've created?
I
Obviously,
mean,
I don't think you'd be surprised. My vote is for Phil Dunphy. That's who I'm taking. I'm sending him to the
really?
next round. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, we may have to flip the coin because I think the Family guy is funny.
Well, I'll tell you
Um,
what. I'm willing to use an overrule. Are you going to use an overrule?
so that means I flip this old dirty dime I found.
It depends. Are you going to use an overrule?
Oh, how many times can I use the overrule?
Four per bracket.
See, it's gonna mean something later.
Exactly. Oh, and I should say, if we both want to use an overrule,
Hmm.
and then we go to a coin flip, and I win the coin flip, I use my overrule. I still have to use it. Okay, so we get four. We get four per game per
Okay.
bracket.
Yeah, I
So
don't want to use my
are you gonna go to
overrule.
an overrule? You are.
I'm
Okay.
not. I'm not. No, I don't want to
Ah,
use it.
well then I'm sorry to tell you, sir. That means I will be using mine, and now I've got three left. And Phil Dunphy is advancing to the next round, to the Elite Eight. We're in the Sweet 16, by the way.
God, I just have a fear that this is going to turn it. What if we turn this into a successful podcast where we just play board games?
I've seen those. I've seen those bots. They're not successful.
Seriously?
They're
That's
not
a
successful.
thing?
Yeah. All right, let's move on. The next matchup.
Okay.
These are they're pretty evenly matched, Ollie.
Yeah.
So, this is Danny Tanner from Full House, played by the inimitable Bob Saget, and
Yeah.
Mike Brady, played by the guy who played Mike Brady from the Brady Bunch.
This is razor thin here because if you really think about the demeanor of them, it's like they're like almost the same guy. I mean, I don't think you can win or lose here.
Hello, there's a reason they're the 8 and 9 seeds. You know,
Yeah, but Dunphy was number one. I feel like that guy was just an idiot. Wasn't that the point?
I think he was a lovable. Hey, we're not debating. He won. All right, he advanced. We're not
He beat a
relitigating.
cartoon. Congratulations.
Exactly. Well, the cartoon was 16.
Um, yeah, I mean that was a smoke. You got smoked. This is hard because obviously it's been a minute since I've seen Full House and the Brady Bunch, right? You know, it's weird. Part of you wants to elevate the Brady Bunch because it's older and I guess it's more iconic. But if I'm
Okay.
trying, you know what's funny? I feel like, you know what? This is tough because I think they're both great dads. But I'll be honest, I think Mike Brady was juggling more on his plate, more kids. He had, kids that were, his stepchildren. That's a lot of work. You know what I
Sure,
mean?
boy.
That's tougher
Understood.
waters to navigate. I think Brady had it tougher. I'm going with
Yep.
Mike Brady.
You're going with Mike Brady. All right, I'm
Yeah.
processing this.
Huh.
I just want to give Danny Tanner his due before we move
Sure.
on.
And I'm
He
about to
did lose,
crush why he's not. All right, keep going, keep going, keep going.
he did lose his wife, but he
Yeah.
also had a lot of support. He had a lot of help in a
That's
best friend.
exactly it. He had a lot of help.
He had a lot of help. And
Yeah.
so I will give you that. I think Mike Brady, congratulations. You know,
Dude,
posthumously
I
advanced.
figured
Although
this
both
out.
are dead. So yeah.
Yeah.
So there we go. Here we go.
Hot dang.
All right. Our
Hot
next
dang.
our next matchup, Ollie,
Hmm.
is Tim the Toolman Taylor
Yeah.
versus everybody loves Ray Barone.
Ooh, interesting. Oh,
Right?
this is hard. This is hard. I'm going to tell you why. Because it's very hard for me to separate Tim Taylor from,
Okay.
what's his real name? Tim Arnold? What was his real name?
You
Tim,
don't even know him. Tim Allen.
whatever. He's a D-bag. You know he is. You know he is. I totally watched that dude pull up in like, I think at some point Porsche released a car that looked like a Ferrari.
Right.
And I saw him in the valley and he pulled up in that car with some chick. And I was like, oh, look, it's him. And I was like, yeah, you're a D-bag, dude. You know?
Yeah.
Whereas
Yeah.
Ray Romano, I think he's a, this is hard though because I have to compare the dad,
That's right. That's right.
You know, this is funny too. I was well into my 20s. I was out and about. I was a young man in Hollywood. I was not sitting there watching Everybody Loves Raymond.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to have to deal with this one simple fact. The
Uh-oh.
title is Everybody Loves Raymond, which means everybody loves him for a reason.
Okay.
I'm going with Ray Barone, and I'm
Okay.
trying to not show bias.
I
But
know. It's hard. It's hard.
yeah, I'm going to go
Look,
with Ray Barone.
there's a reason Cliff Huxtable isn't on here, you know. Is it fair? I don't know. But, you know, you can take that up with the committee.
I would have ran the table, just so you know, I would have ran the table with them because they're two entities. It's just,
Right.
I don't know.
Well,
But yeah,
fortunately, you won't get that chance. But so you're going with Ray. I'm going to also go with Ray, even though I did somewhat enjoy the show Home Improvement. I do think that it's kind of a precursor to the manosphere that we have today. And you look back on some of that stuff, you look at those clips, and you're like, this guy sucked. Like Tim
He
Taylor kind of
just
sucked.
happened to be a dad. Like he's like, yeah, yeah, I'm a tool guy. I'm like Bob Vila, but like
Yeah,
I have a family. And then he had to like talk to like the neighbor, you know, who you could only
that
see
part
his
I like. I like the
eyeballs.
listen. But to be fair, too, you don't really see the kids on Everybody Loves Raymond a lot. So I don't know what kind of dad he is, but I guess we'll find out in the next matchup. But so
Yeah.
congratulations to you, uh, Ray Romano, Ray Barone. Your
Hmm.
character has advanced to the Elite Eight. Are you ready for the next one?
Yeah, and this took like 0.0000001 second.
Oh, I'm worried. Who do you got?
Uncle Phil
Oh,
by
okay.
a
Thank God.
mile.
Thank God. Hey, I don't know if we're going to need to use all our
Oh,
overrules.
wow, interesting. So a lot of this could just be like us fighting, which is kind of cool too.
I
Do
mean,
you
but
have,
hey,
I
look,
mean,
I'm,
we're
I'm
on,
not. I'm not looking for a fight. I'm looking for a judicious process. Uncle Phil versus Al Bundy. I mean, it's like it's no contest. Al Bundy. I don't know if he had any redeeming qualities. Did he? Please make the case for Al Bundy, who's already lost.
I think with Al Bundy, to be fair, and it's not so much that I didn't make this decision because I'm anti Al Bundy. I made this decision because I'm pro Uncle Phil. Okay. And by the way, spoiler alert, Uncle Phil is basically, I mean, I got to absorb the rest of it, but he's my ride or die. He's my ride or die. And
Ooh,
we'll get to that in a
wow,
minute. We'll get to
wow!
that in a
You're
minute.
picking a four seed to go all the
Yeah, I
way.
mean, there's just so much in there. There's a
Okay,
lot to unpack. There's a lot in
okay,
there.
okay.
With Al Bundy, like, he is like, I think he did, unlike, say, a Mike Brady, it was revealing to see a dad just simply be loose, be real, it's not self-centered, but obviously focused on the self, like dads aren't just some sort of Michael Landon archetype, we are human. We do like to sit in a chair and watch TV and, maybe just be as comfortable as
Hold
possible with
on.
a couple fingers in
Yeah,
the old
well, I
pan.
mean, you think Michael Landon was going to be watching TV on the prairie? I mean, come on.
Fair enough. Fair enough. It's nice to, make dads down to earth people too. And that's, we all have flaws. If one thing Al Bundy shows us is that dads have flaws. We all have
Sure,
flaws.
sure. Yeah,
He just
dads,
had nothing virtuous.
dads,
Yeah.
they're just like us.
Yeah.
All right, well, we can move on to the. Oh, I didn't label these. Do you think that would have been the East Coast or the West Coast? I think that was the West Coast.
I mean, Al Bundy was in Chicago. Well, Ray Barone. Yeah, you kind of, yeah, maybe
I guess it's a little bit
you should
mixed.
have put Walter. You could have split with the Midwest in either or.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
All right, well, we'll tidy it up for next year. But
yeah.
let's move to the right-hand side of the bracket
Okay.
for our first matchup. And our first matchup is at a six seed, Tony
Hmm.
Soprano, versus our favorite yellow father,
Hmm.
Homer Simpson,
Yeah.
an 11 seed. Who you got?
Yeah.
Who do you take?
Well, this is one of those moments where I don't think the seed ranking really reflects what really is happening here.
Okay. Okay.
Tony Soprano is a complex person, but he is morally compromised. And in the end
Mm,
of the day, he murdered a family member. So I think Homer Simpson, with all his flaws, never did that. He's more of an Al Bundy. I mean, Al Bundy's not a murderer, period, point
sure.
blank.
Well,
Um,
but can I, I've never seen The Sopranos. I've seen it here and there,
uh-huh.
which is a problem for another time that we can address. But I will say, I don't think Tony Soprano killed his kids because I do know that they're in the finale.
No, he didn't
So,
kill his kids, but he did kill
okay,
his nephew.
okay, okay.
You
So he's
know?
not a great uncle, but that doesn't make him a bad dad.
Yeah, though, I mean, like, these are and he also, did try and smother his mother with a pillow. I mean, this is tough. I
What?
mean, it's yeah,
Okay,
you know.
okay. Not a great son.
But
Doesn't make
he
him a bad
did
dad.
save his son's life when he tried to commit suicide.
Okay, great dad.
So there's that.
Yeah. See?
But again, I think he is so morally compromised, and
Right.
also he traumatized his children irrevocably. I mean, the trauma he induced to his children with the famous ending of the series.
You don't
Yeah,
know that they were traumatized by that. You have no idea what happened.
yeah. I mean, I think it's a safe bet. It's a safe bet. And if you want to
All right.
make a
Well,
safe bet, I know it's a safe bet. Homer
yeah.
Simpson is not as deeply flawed as Tony Soprano is. This is a battle of flawed dads, and one
Okay.
has serious flaws.
Isn't that literally the crux of our entire podcast? A battle of flawed dads?
Yes, and ultimately we have to make decisions. And
Yeah.
look, I'll say this. I will say this. Who would I trust my children with more? Homer Simpson over
Ooh.
Tony Soprano by a mile. By a
Oh,
mile.
wow. Okay.
By a mile.
I don't know if I agree actually, and here's why. You know, Homer Simpson literally strangles his son quite frequently in early seasons. And I don't think we
Mm,
talk about that anymore. And what does he say to him? Why, you little. And he literally grabs him by the neck and just chokes his son. And we are to believe that all of a sudden, he is just forgiven for literally strangling his son. Now,
hmm
I don't think Tony Soprano has ever strangled his kids. Maybe he's yelled at them. Maybe he's cursed at them. Maybe, he's maybe not set the best example for them. But again, Homer Simpson also, I believe, has caused lots of nuclear disasters in his children's community. And who suffers? The kids. So weirdly enough, I'm going to go with Tony on this one.
Yeah, I think what's happening is you just haven't seen the series. So, when he took Meadow to see colleges, he lied about where he was so he could go murder an informant. He was very traumatic to AJ and to Meadow. He really yeah, I mean he really had moments where he honestly, as I look at this list, there's only one other dad that's caused that much damage to his kids. Only one other. Yeah, I think if we took this to public debate, I would be
Mm.
I would be declared the winner here. Homer Simpson, like, he strangled Bart, but he didn't strangle Lisa. It didn't strangle Maggie.
Okay, so you're one of the like you're like oh yeah, no, my dad has some kids from an earlier marriage. He really totally abandoned them, but he's been great to us. Like I don't know, you're a dad to all your kids. You strangle one of your kids, I think you're out of the running for me. I think we're gonna have to I'm gonna have to overrule. Are you gonna use your overrule on this?
100,000%. There's no
Flip the
way
coin.
around it.
Flip the coin, and call it.
So which one's which? So I flip it, and you have to
Whatever you want.
call
Call it.
which one.
Call it. Call it in the air. Call it in the air.
Okay, so I'm gonna
Who do
say heads. It's Tony. Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
It's Tony. Tony won. Crap. It was
Hey,
head.
thank you for your honesty.
Yeah. No, I mean that
Thanks
would
for not
be.
cheating. Thanks for not cheating in this
I'm a
totally
bad
real
poker face. This
high
is so
stakes
wrong. This is
game.
so wrong.
Well, hey, that's sports, baby. That's sports for you. Anything can happen. Moving on. You're probably going to need some help with this one. Bandit is the beloved animated dog father. Oh, like Snoop. Snoop should have been on here, but he's not a TV dad. The dog father of Bluey and Bluey's sister. I forget the name. I should know. So you got Bandit. Bandit at number 3 versus the very complicated, controversial, morally depraved Randy Marsh from South Park. Two animated dads against each other.
Oh God, this is embarrassing because I don't know. I never really watched that much South Park to know. I just know about the kids and Cartman and stuff like that
Uh-huh.
too. I mean, it sounds like Bandit is an aspirational show, so it seems like, right? I mean, South
Yeah,
Park
it's
satire.
it's Bandit far and away. I mean, come on, Bandit's just the better dad. Like, let's
Yeah,
he's the
yeah.
entertaining dad.
I mean, that's my instinct. You
Is
affirm
is
it,
he
so
the
yeah.
funnier dad? I don't know, but a lot of people do like his jokes and they think he's pretty clever and funny. It's just for a
Hmm.
different audience. But so that's an easy one. Congratulations, Bandit, you made it to the Elite Eight. Next up, I'm going to lean on your thoughts for this one. I'm super curious
Yeah.
where you land on the this next matchup at number 7 seed Walter White from Breaking Bad versus
Hmm.
Dan Connor from Roseanne at a number 10. Walter
You
White versus
know,
Dan Connor.
this is really interesting, and I already know, like, really the big showdown here. And they all benefit from being 90s series dads who would occasionally have these, you know, in the case of all of these shows to a degree, comedies that would have these occasional dramatic scene moments that were actually quite heartfelt. And that's
Mm-hmm.
exactly what you get with Dan Connor,
Hmm.
who is really my pick. Now, there is a cerebral approach to this, which I think, it's funny. I feel like your Tony Soprano versus Homer Simpson thing was like very much built on like, well, Homer Simpson was dangerous, even though it was funny, right? And
Hmm.
I think with Walter White, the central premise is he becomes this really nefarious,
Yeah,
evil person, but
sure.
he did it because he had good intentions. However, knowing the series so well, and ultimately knowing the finale, which is one of the better. I mean, the final season and the conclusion of it was probably one of the more satisfying ones of this era of television. The show really delivers a condemnation that he wasn't doing it for his family.
Hmm.
He did it for himself. He says as much. And so, it's Dan Connor. I mean, Dan Connor, and I approach this like almost like a scientist going, okay, this
Okay.
is how we're going to get Apollo to the moon. So
Okay.
long-winded, but it's Dan.
I'm going to agree. I'm going to agree wholeheartedly, full-throated. Our final matchup from the Sweet 16 before we move into the Elite Eight is Carl Winslow versus Seinfeld's Frank Costanza.
You know, I mean, look, Frank Costanza, funny character. Seinfeld, very, very funny. Well, it makes me smile. Carl Winslow is a shining knight.
Yeah.
He
You
is
know,
someone who I pick to go the distance.
I'm gonna agree.
Absolutely, it's Winslow, Carl Winslow.
I think he could have been a little bit kinder to that neighbor boy, but you know what? That's okay. Something we can tackle at a later time. Well, here's your Elite Eight, Ollie. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Phil Dunphy, Mike Brady, Ray Barone, Uncle Phil, Tony Soprano, Bandit, Dan Connor, and Carl Winslow. You
Hmm.
ready to tackle these next matchups?
Yeah. I mean, some of these are just like, yeah, this is crazy.
I mean, it's look, I think but this is why, and I say this as a very knowledgeable sports fan. This is why you usually end up with a number 1 and 2 seed or a 1, 2, 3. I mean, you think you know who's going to make it, but there
Yeah.
are upsets. There are upsets. Anything can happen. I still have, what do I have? 2 overrules left. You have 4 in this bracket.
Mm.
We have coin tosses. Things can happen, you know? So, all
Okay.
right, here we go. First matchup of the Elite Eight Phil Dunphy from Modern Family versus Mike Brady from the Brady Bunch. Who's taking it?
God, it's like it's not like I love Mike Brady. I just don't trust Phil Dunphy. But my problem is I don't watch Modern Family. I kind of lean to you on this
Ooh,
one,
that's tough. Okay.
because I really can't. I feel like the context of Modern Family is that it is a harder comedy than the Brady
Mm,
Bunch,
sure.
and so Brady is going to be classic aspirational, but he's also classic aspirational is also not realistic, which is why Al Bundy decided to make an appearance in
Mm,
something to which one would never immediately say he's a great dad, but he was a real dad, right? So there's
mm,
the debate: is Dunphy real and good? Because Brady is good, but not realistic. If that makes sense.
sure. Well, yeah, I think it's interesting. I mean, I think Brady certainly is more of the Leave It to Beaver. He's like the bridge between that, like, father knows best, I all-knowing father that Augustine Sedgwick talked about,
Hmm.
and the kind of total doofus, cartoonish
Mm.
Phil Dunphy, played by Ty Burrell, right? So Brady was kind of that transitional step, right? He wasn't perfect, but he was pretty darn close, right? It's a tough one, man. Oof, it's a tough match, and
Hmm.
and it's a 9 and a 1 seed. So if Brady takes it, man, like that really is an upset. Who do you take? Who you got?
It's hard for me to bet on the unknown, and I
Okay,
think it makes for a better Final Four to have a classic dad in there. So I'm gonna go Brady, but
all
it's
right.
it's not a hill I'm prepared to die on.
Well, I'm not using an overrule because
You're
I might need it.
playing the game to win. That's what you're doing.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, congratulations, Mike Brady. You've now made it to the Final Four. Wow. Wow,
Hmm.
wow, wow. All right, next up, the Elite Eight. Ray Barone versus Uncle Phil.
God, this is a thing where I kind of wish I had the opportunity to have seen more of Everybody Loves Raymond to really find ways to advocate for him because I have a trust factor. Like
Mm,
I have an intuition that Ray Barone is a better dad than the unknown is giving me because I have not seen the series. That being
okay,
said, Uncle Phil is my ride or die. My
far and
ride or
away.
die.
I mean,
So
there's no use even arguing. Like
okay,
that is
great. We
so
can move on. You know.
he's so clearly in the Final Four. He
Okay.
just is for a
Hmm.
million reasons, which we can
Hmm.
unpack
Hmm.
uh, at a later time. I mean, there's obviously that classic scene that has been making the rounds on social media lately, where Will is really upset that his dad came into town, but then kind of bailed on him, and it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
oh, he's bailing on me again, and
Hmm.
who's there to kind of literally hold him?
Hmm.
Uncle Phil. Uncle Phil. It's one of those tender moments. And yes, he could be an authoritarian at times. But all in all, like, the guy gave a great life to his family. He worked hard. He was pretty nice, pretty fun. But, stern. But he was a judge. I mean, that's what judges are. They're stern. So
Listen,
anyway,
listen,
I,
this isn't a timeshare. You don't need to sell me.
hey now. Uncle Phil, congratulations on making it to the final four. Let's move to the right side of the bracket. This is an easy one for me, but I do need to consult with the other member of the voting contingent in the matchup of Tony Soprano versus Bandit. What do
Well,
you got?
like I said, I didn't even believe it. Soprano won by the flip of a coin, and if I had to do it all over again, I would still pick Homer Simpson. So I'm definitely going Bandit. I don't care that I've never seen the show. Yeah, like I'm
You
pretty
get it.
sure he never Bandit. Did Bandit kill his nephew?
Not in the series. I mean, I don't know what happened kind of in the lore of the origin story, but certainly not on the show Bluey. Bandit never killed his nephew, no.
All right, so the writers' room never wrote that scene. That's
They
all
did
I
not.
needed to know.
Perhaps in a spin-off. And finally, from our Elite
Dude,
Eight,
this is excellent right here.
this
This
is
is
it.
a
Now, this is what
really,
I'm talking about. These are the matchups that
really,
matter.
yes,
Ken Connor versus Carl Winslow, man. That's tough.
yeah, it
That's
is. It really is. It really is because I think honestly, what's crazy is Dan Connor is the most realistic dad we have right now. I mean, and I, you know what? Even as I look at everything, I feel like Dan Connor is the most realistic dad we have here.
okay.
We
Okay.
are not perfect. We are
Okay.
flawed. Ultimately, we are as we are what's in our hearts. You
Yeah.
know, Carl's freaking fantastic, though. You know, like he is.
It really
There
is.
is nothing wrong here. You know, and in some ways, Carl's realistic as well. You know, this is really hard, man.
Well, I'll throw
In
I'll throw one thing in, which is that Carl was a father to three kids, but then all of a sudden, after a summer break, he was a father to two kids. What happened to Judy? Justice for Judy. Where is Judy Winslow, Ollie? Where did she go?
Yeah, yeah. You know what's funny? I think Dan dealt with harder times, but the Winslows weren't exactly like rolling in dough either. You
Hold
know?
on. You think it was harder for Dan Connor than to be a black family in Chicago, in America in the 90s? Wow. Ollie, wow.
I don't. You know what? This is like how the. I think the Connors, what made
Hmm.
them so relatable, was that it's the same way. I think there was a lot of people could relate to them outside of their race. You know, working class, struggling. I think that's important to recognize. It reminds me of when people called William Jefferson Clinton the first black president based on the way he was brought up and how that's a huge element of how we relate to each other. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? What's our story? What's our
In
backstory?
hindsight, though, kind of messed up, right? Because
Well, that's because the idea of an actual African American president seemed like it was never going to happen. You know what I mean? I think that was really coined when before Barack Obama, and I think like there's something that look like as a classic Neil line I love is two things can be right. You know what I mean? And I think it's effed up, and I think there's some truth to it. And also, I think there was a time where no one. I remember my dad would say that this country's not ready for a black president. Like that was, there was a real truth to that.
hmm,
Anyways, really close here. Winslow. I'm doing this for the sake of an elite Final Four, an interesting Final Four, and it's hard because Winslow's great, but I'm gonna go Dan Connor. I'm gonna go Dan Connor.
I will accept.
Wow. Wow. Okay. All right.
So here's your final four, folks: Mike Brady, Uncle Phil, Bandit, and Dan Connor. What an eclectic group we've got here.
Yeah. We're a
We're
little
covering,
lacking
we're
in
covering a lot of
diversity.
ground temporally. We've got Brady Bunch was the 70s or the 80s? 70s?
70s.
All right, so you got a 70s dad, two
Mm-hmm.
90s dads,
Yeah.
and I mean, like a now,
Mm-hmm.
Bandit is now. So, yeah.
Okay.
All right, let's do this. Let's do
All
this,
right.
baby. Who's going to be in the championship? It's Mike Brady versus Uncle Phil. I think I know who you've got.
Yeah, I mean, look, in the end of the day, and I feel like it's worth justifying, right, is that I think it's important when we talk about, March Dadness, that we ultimately elevate a dad that's more related to realism, and that's one thing I'll say is as the years have gone on, we've progressed and we've looked at the world with less rose-colored glasses and with a little bit of realism in our polarized tint. Actually,
Okay.
it's polarized. I meant
It's your way
the
of telling me.
sunglasses reference, but it does make sense.
It's
Look,
your way
I'll
of
just
telling me you're going for the judge who lives in Bel Air.
yeah, Uncle Phil for
Mhm,
sure,
mhm.
for sure. Yeah, I just Mike
I'm,
Brady, like,
I'm
you
with
know
you.
what? He probably was a great dad for his time, but times have moved on, Neil.
Yeah, I would agree.
It's a
But
good
I
thing.
think Uncle Phil was a great dad for even for today. Even though he was a dad on our screens 30 years ago. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think that's something. I think that's something. And now, based on what you just said, I have a feeling I know where you're leaning for the other slot in the
Yeah.
championship match. But tell me your thoughts on the Bandit versus Dan Connor.
I mean, this is the thing is I have never seen Bandit. I've never seen Bandit. And I feel like part of me is like maybe he is a good dog dad. I don't know.
Dog
Like
father.
that
Dog father.
dog father. Maybe he is. Maybe there's a lot of great redeeming qualities. It's a big unknown.
Mm.
But in light of the fact that I don't know Bandit, I don't or Bluey, I don't watch the show. And based on how, I mean, if I had to take someone out, if I had to take Carl Winslow out,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and also the other thing, and I know we're supposed to separate this. By the way, some fine actors here: John Goodman,
Sure.
Reginald Val Johnson,
Yeah.
and James Avery. I mean, really, they're that you can't let go of that. Even though we shouldn't judge them based on the people they are as actors, but certainly
Sure.
the actor.
I mean,
A
Brian
quality actor
Cranston,
says a lot about the role, right?
Jerry Stiller. We've
Jerry's,
definitely.
yeah,
Yeah.
you know what? If we were looking for funniest dad, that'd be a different story. Oh, funny,
Perhaps,
but
perhaps a future category, but not today. Today,
not
it's
today, not
so.
today.
So you're going with Dan Connor, right? In the
Yeah,
final.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
here we go. I will second. So here we are, folks. Uh, 40 minutes in. It's a lot less painful than having to watch all of those silly basketball matches. This is a little bit more fun, huh? If you stuck
Mm-hmm.
around with us. And our matchup for best TV dad in
Mm-hmm.
the 2026 March Dadness bracket.
This is
You've
actually
got
tougher than I thought. Now,
Uncle Phil from The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air versus Dan Connor from Roseanne and the later spin-off, I guess, reboot, The Connors.
mm.
Uncle Phil versus Dan Connor. Who do you got?
What's funny is I'm gonna walk you through my thinking because that's all I'm really doing here. That, part of me was like, Uncle Phil's gonna win this whole damn thing, and I too echo the same love for that scene where Will has his breakdown, and Uncle Phil is there for him, literally being the father he longs for, right? And that's a huge lesson. On the other hand, we have Dan Connor, who I think was a good dad, but also a dad that we can relate to more because he's completely flawed and absolutely not perfect. Uncle Phil is got aspirational elements. He's fantastically wealthy, educated. He's wealthy. He has a powerful. He's smart. He's wealthy. In some ways, you're like, how do I even really relate to this guy? Even though there was a beautiful moment where he probably did the one thing all of us should be doing more of, better of, which is just being there and listening. But Dan Connor is also a reminder that we're not perfect. I would almost freaking put this to a coin toss because, it's not easy. It's not easy.
Do we need that reminder that we're not perfect? I think it's pretty obvious.
Oh, in the case of TV dads, absolutely. I
Okay.
think that's actually that's literally the theme of this. The
Okay.
theme of this. In fact, what's interesting is some of the dads of later history are literally villains, anti-heroes, which
Mm.
says a lot about maybe we're tired of having the idealistic Ward Cleaver dad pushed down, shoved down our throats, you
Okay.
know?
Okay.
And Phil does. It's close enough where who would I rather have as a dad? Uncle Phil, who's actually someone that we can learn more lessons from, not because of preaching, but because of just looking in the mirror and
Yeah.
looking at
Well,
ourselves
I'll be
honestly.
honest, Ollie. I'm pretty troubled by this.
Yeah.
Obviously, for me, Uncle Phil is far and away the winner. But this is sports, and anything can happen. Let's do three coin tosses and see who the world's
This was
greatest.
your plan the whole time. Okay, so I will flip it and then
How about you
whatever.
call, I call, you call?
Okay, okay. I call, then you. Okay, cool. Ready? All right,
I'm ready.
flipping. I have not looked at the coin.
and you're calling.
Oh, I'm calling it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Tails Dan Connor. Ready?
Yeah. What do you got?
I won't even look at it. Oh wait. Oh, it's heads.
Okay. It's one
It's
for Phil.
heads.
All right. Let
So
me call it
Phil.
now. Here we go.
Okay,
One for
ready?
Phil. Yeah, I'm ready. Let's go. Heads. Heads, Phil.
Uncle Phil wins. Uncle Phil wins.
Oh!
Uncle Phil wins.
Yeah.
Uncle Phil wins. Look,
Congratulations.
I said this out the gate. He was kind of like my ride or die with it.
I
I'm
know.
I'm
I
I'm just
know.
happy that it came down to these two because I think they were two distinctive dads. And yeah, the thing is, unlike this contest, or maybe like this contest, it's just not so cut and dry, Neil. It's not
Yeah.
so cut and dry.
Uh, well, that was our bracket for TV Dad. Should we do another one, or should we leave it there?
Wait, what do you mean?
I have other brackets.
You have a whole other bracket?
Yeah. Should we do another one? Should we
I
fly
mean, what do
through
you
it?
do? Yeah, let's fly through it. Let's see what you got.
Okay. Okay.
Let's see what you got.
Here we
Oh,
go.
that's right. There were three. I got so obsessed with this one. Okay,
Uh,
cool.
this is a little bit. This is probably gonna be a little bit easier.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah. You're
or
right.
maybe not. I don't know. You are the food guy, So
Well, I
let's.
have my own POV on things now. So
Yeah.
yeah.
All right, so let me just read off for our audio listeners, who are the bulk of you. What are our, well, first of all, what are we talking about here? This is the bracket for snacks, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And this is March Dadness snacks. And we go straight to the Sweet 16 because we're not going to bore you with 68 snacks. No one has time for that. So we're in the Sweet 16 of March Dadness snacks. And here's what we got. In the number one seed, nachos. Facing a 16 seed trail mix. We move on to a pretzels versus popcorn matchup. After that, chips and salsa in the 5 spot versus peanut butter in the 12. Number 4, wings versus a 13 seed string cheese. On the right side of the bracket, we've got leftover pizza versus beef jerky, an IKEA hot dog versus a protein bar, cheese and crackers versus mixed nuts, which is kind of a cousin of the trail mix, and
Yeah, you're right.
number 2 spot, pizza bagel bites versus apple slices in a 15, which makes sense. I mean, come on.
Okay.
So those are your contenders. Are you ready to dive in to our early matches? All right, number
Yeah.
1, nachos versus trail mix. I mean, I think this is an easy one, but who do you have?
Well, this will surprise you. So for me, I'm in my era where I pick my calories carefully. I'm very happy to have my biases, and one of the things I really kind of was cautious about, frankly worried, troubled, was when I moved to Texas and I'd have to eat Tex-Mex
Right.
because it's like their version of Mexican food, which I just think is trashier and less interesting. So I'm gonna go trail mix because I don't think nachos is worth the calories. I know people love them. People here love their queso. Like I said, I'm in my era of picking my calories carefully. Yeah, you might be surprised. I will when I go for the calories. They're my favorite foods, and nachos ain't my favorite food. There you go.
Yeah, you're going burgers. Yeah, I
Yeah.
got you.
Well, I mean, I'm going.
You know what? I'm not going to fight you because I'm not a fighting man. I'm a peacenik. And also, like, I don't much care for nachos. Like, they're fine, but I'm not
Well, well, well.
I'm not dying on that hill. So, especially knowing we only get four overrules. So,
Yeah, great.
yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, moving on. This is a little bit tougher. I think these are evenly matched in the 8 and 9 spot. Pretzels versus popcorn.
Yeah.
Who do you got? Who do you got?
It is tough because it's like you're at the movie theater. Buttered popcorn is kind of like, come on, what are we, heathens? But at the same time, I'm going to say this, and then this is true of a number of these. But if we're talking about the vast world of pretzel, like a really excellent pretzel, the world's best pretzel beats the world's best popcorn. Period. Point.
By the way, I want to ask: are you talking about soft pretzels or regular hard pretzels?
I mean, yes, exactly. You know what? There's a case for both of them being good, but like, Brearley's from Philly. She likes her soft pretzels. I think they can be quite good. I like hard pretzels as well. I think pretzels are actually freaking delicious. I think they are a more interesting food. When they get good, they get better than popcorn can ever get. Popcorn's a vehicle for butter.
Yeah, I have to agree. I'm a big pretzel head.
Yeah.
Fun fact, my family never kept salted pretzels in the house. We always had unsalted pretzels. And so what would me and my uh, uh, really not privileged little sisters do is we would lick the pretzels and then shake some salt on it to make them salted pretzels. So
I wondered how you applied it. I saw where you were going, but the
yeah.
saliva is really extra amazing.
Yeah. All right, moving on to our next matchup, chips and salsa versus peanut butter.
So this is a weird personal bias, but because of Heath's allergy, I'm
Mm.
like always like kind of like, oh no, we can't have that in the house or whatever. Also, I do love chips and salsa. I think when chips and salsa, so unlike nachos, I love salsa. Love salsa. I'm cautious about eating it, but because of the chips empty calorie factor. But I'm gonna go chips and salsa.
I love empty calories. I am with you all the way. We are
Mm,
cruising through this, man. I
okay.
mean, this is, let's see once we get to the Elite Eight. But
Hmm.
all right, next up, wings versus string cheese.
So this is interesting because I actually do enjoy string cheese. I'm not a
Mm.
big CPG guy. However, I mean, again, wings can be awful. Wings. So this is what's tricky about this. Wings can be terrible, and they can be done right. When they're done right, it's no brainer. No brainer. I'd also add too, it's not hard to do them right at home with an air fryer. So I'm gonna go with wings because, I mean, I've had them. You're at the airport or some bad sports bar restaurant, and they just don't know what they're doing, right?
No.
Whereas string cheese is hard to F up, but can only be so good. So I'm gonna go with wings, and also
F,
the variety.
what do you mean F up? You just peel out the wrapper. I
That's what I'm
mean,
saying. They're hard to F up. Like it's string cheese. It's
but
like,
by that same token, and I'm with you, I just want to validate the case here.
hmm
I find string cheese to be not good. It's like it's
mm,
like, oh, I need sustenance. You may as well just put like a nutrition pill in your mouth. Like the string cheese should be added to something else. It should be melted. It should be complementing
yeah,
a carb or a sandwich or I don't, what am I?
yeah. Yeah, I mean,
Five?
I was trying to explore, but
You know, like
what's
I
funny?
get my calories.
Big time out here. Big time out. Let's step back for a second. These are dad snacks. String
Yeah,
cheese is a snack. So string cheese is mid, but snacks are mid. You know what I mean?
I don't
But
know if
I'm,
I
I'm
agree.
gonna go with wings. As a
Snacks.
dad, my
Yeah.
snacks are basically meals. I'd rather have a meal as a snack than a snack
Okay.
as a snack.
Okay. Well, debatable. But moving to the right side of the bracket, leftover pizza versus beef jerky.
I mean, I'm gonna just say leftover pizza. I
Hell
think beef
yes. Cold
jerky
or
is
hot.
yeah, and then the other thing too is I know you're in New York, so the odds of you having excellent leftover pizza are very high. I'm choosy enough about pizza where if we have leftover pizza, it's going to be good. So yeah,
And I tell you something else. My
yeah,
kids prefer leftover pizza heated up in the oven or the air fryer because it has a crispness that we don't get straight out of the oven from the pizza place. I don't know why that is. I don't, maybe
hmm
you can speak to that as the food guy, but
yeah,
when we take the pizza the next day and heat it up, it is
yeah.
crisper than when, it's still kind of melty and burning your mouth right from the pizza place.
You
So,
know what's weird? I've been doing some content with pizza, so I've had some leftover pizza, and I've literally experienced. I have a whole thing where I heat up I should use the air fryer, but I've been using a cast iron pan. Let that heat up in the oven from cold, and then I heat it up there too. I too enjoy like zero flop, and I think it's just the twice bake factor. It's like it's not baked enough initially, and for whatever reasons, I think it kind of firms up more, and I enjoy it as well. We're obviously on the same page. Yeah, leftover pizza. I mean that
yeah,
that could be the
for
goat
sure.
right here. Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
another brand sponsor of the show, IKEA, and of course the famous IKEA hot dogs versus the protein bar, the generic protein bar.
Oh, yeah, this is a tough one because I don't necessarily enjoy protein bars, But what I am is extremely picky about hot dogs. Now, I don't think I've had the IKEA hot dog, but I've definitely seen it and said, there's no way I'm eating that. I do enjoy hot dogs. I think hot dogs, an excellent hot dog, would be a better snack than a protein bar. But I don't believe that the IKEA hot dog is a good hot dog. So by default, protein bar sucks less, so I'm putting it in there.
I can get on board with that.
Okay.
Here's a fun matchup: cheese and crackers versus mixed nuts.
See, this is interesting because are we talking gas station cheese and crackers or like some full on charcuterie here? You know what I mean? Cheese board, if you will.
Sure. When I think cheese and crackers, I think a pretty limited spread. I don't think you're getting prosciutto in there, and
Okay.
I
Yeah.
don't picture like brie and blue cheese. I think I picture like some thick American,
Ooh.
maybe in some plastic, that you in some sticks. But that's me. I don't know. This is for everybody. Who do
I
you
am going to say this. I will concede that we are not getting a charcuterie board.
I
I
agree.
concede that it's not going to have like warm brie and Stilton. However, I think it's not hard to say, hey, we have some water crackers and a cheddar, like even like a domestic cheddar. That's gonna kill mixed nuts. But I will tell you this, saying, oh, I get skeeved out about peanut butter
Mm.
because of Heath.
Yeah,
I have
yeah.
nothing against it. The times where we're not around Heath and we can eat nuts, it's like an extra delicious treat.
Mm.
So I'm actually going to argue myself out of this because you brought up the American cheese thing. If you were adamant about, because I feel like you say cheese and crackers, I feel like it's more low rent. It just depends because mixed nuts.
I love mixed nuts, and specifically when I think of mixed nuts, I think of like raisins in there too. My only issue with the mixed nut is I'm not a huge almond guy,
Hmm.
and so I find myself having to pick out the almonds. I like when there's no almonds, but I can tolerate it if I need to. So I would go mixed nuts as well.
Yeah,
It sounds like that's where we're going.
yeah,
A little bit of an upset. It's a 10 seed defeating a 7 seed, but again, remember this is all made up, so none
hmm,
of this matters. Okay.
yeah.
Have we hooked you? Are you guys still with us an hour in? Great.
This is going to be an interesting one.
All right. And then our final battle on the right side of the bracket I think a pretty easy one. Pizza bagel bites versus apple slices.
So what's funny for me is that these are foods I've never really cared for. Now, I want to believe that maybe there is a good pizza bagel bite experience that I've just not had. You know, could also make the argument that maybe if I had a $5 apple from Japan, that would be the the apple slice I have. You know what? I'm more of a savory guy. I'm gonna go for pizza bagel bites.
Yeah, I have to agree.
Okay.
Oh, this was really easy, huh? We really just cruised these.
Yeah.
Well, let's read out our Elite Eight.
Well, if you did leftover pizza versus wings, I mean, I think part of these are the matchups, these which will change. Things are going to change.
No, because that's the point of March Madness is the matchups you shouldn't have such
Mm.
strong
Yeah,
um,
yeah, got you.
right contenders. I think against each other in the early rounds. I think that's the whole idea. That's why it's an upset, right?
Hmm.
So moving on. Here are Elite Eight: trail mix, pretzels, chips and salsa, wings, leftover pizza, protein bar, mixed nuts, and pizza bagel bites. Let's take our first matchup of the Elite Eight: trail mix versus pretzels. I know who I'm going with, but what about you?
Pretzels, pretzels.
Oh yeah, hell
Yeah,
to the
yeah. Trail mix can't ever get that good. Period. You
yeah.
know.
You're not going to beat pretzels. It's not going to happen. Although maybe unsalted pretzels, but you're not at my house growing up. So, chips and salsa versus wings.
I
We
would
got a
rather
couple.
roll the dice on wings,
Okay.
even if they weren't that great, than chips and salsa, which at its best is never that good.
Yeah, I mean, I
Chips
will
and
say,
guac
I,
would be
I
tougher,
also
but yeah.
I also love chips and salsa, but I wonder how much of it is just the I'm at a restaurant and I'm starving and I associate it with they're giving me something while I wait.
It's the only thing that's left over from the complimentary breadbasket service of the '90s and before. You
Which,
know.
by the way, it's in New York. It's not even complimentary anymore. You know,
Well, no,
it's
I mean I don't ever see it. I mean, and I think a big part of it was, there was a time when there was a place in LA, Noah's Bagels, and it like they closed up mad because of Atkins. Like people were like, oh, I can't eat bagels anymore.
oh
I think
wow,
that's changed again,
yeah,
but yeah, no, it's so funny. There's a little story floating around about Tex-Mex restaurants used to serve complimentary flour tortillas with butter. What happened to that? And I'm like, calories, Atkins. I mean, we have different priorities now versus
mm,
just eating free food.
mm-hmm,
It's
mm.
just the truth. All right,
Oh, that's
wings, wings,
okay.
wings, and wings.
Wings takes it. Wings.
See, what would have been really crazy if you did buffalo wings versus oh my God! Did you? You know what? This is funny. It's worth it on the wing stuff. Do you remember there was controversy with Ree Drummond on Pioneer Woman. She did a series and she goes, "Hey, I'm gonna make wings, guys. I'm gonna make these Korean gochujang wings." And her kids go, "No, we want real wings." She goes, "Just kidding. We're gonna make buffalo wings." And like obviously, like I'm sure a bunch of Asian American food centric people, food nerds, if you will, were like, "Oh, really? F you, Ree Drummond."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
mean,
there.
that is kind of messed up.
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, you didn't have to. There's no reason why you. And also, like, buffalo wings are fine, but they're actually an inferior. For the most part, I think Korean fried chicken wings destroy buffalo wings.
Mm.
So, sorry, kids, you have the taste of a kid at Applebee's. Oh, wait,
That
what am
just
I saying?
reminded
They
me,
probably
by
sponsor
the
the
way,
show.
what an unnecessary misdirect. And you just reminded me our flight home that was JetBlue, and the person got on the intercom, the flight attendant, and said, Did anyone lose their JetBlue credit card? And everyone's like, and she's like, just kidding. It's mine here, and you can pick one up too. And I was like, oh my God. We're like, I'm watching a movie in the middle of this uncomfortable flight, and you're doing bits like misdirect bits to try to get us to like get JetBlue credit card. I'm just like, just tell us, hi everyone, sorry to interrupt you, but we have a great deal. Did anyone lose? Get out of here. If you're gonna do a misdirect, you better be damn funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Reed Drummond, you're not funny. And
Ree
random
Drummond.
flight
Just
attendant.
kidding, guys. We're going to eat real wings.
Oh boy. All right, let's move on. Leftover pizza versus protein bars. I'm going
Leftover
leftover
pizza.
pizza.
I
Duh.
mean, protein bar is like that's like a punishment.
What am I, Robert Irvine? Get out of here.
Oh, friend of the pod, friend of the
Friend of the
pod.
pod. We love Robert. Mixed nut. Oh, by the way, has a great protein bar. Fit Crunch. Go pick it up.
Oh wow,
Probably at Costco or IKEA or I don't know, Target somewhere.
IKEA,
Mixed,
not an IKEA. I
yeah,
mean,
it's
maybe, but doubtful.
all right. Mixed nuts versus pizza bagel bites.
All right, I think I'm gonna really possibly throw a wrench out here, and it's
Yep.
because I've never found pizza bagel bites to have any appeal for me. Maybe they can be good. Maybe if you made. Oh wait, it's a bite, so it's a snack version. I'm going mixed nuts. I think mixed nuts can be way more
It's
premium.
interesting. Part of me would really like to see how leftover pizza fares against pizza bagel bites. Um, but I think you're right, and I think the reason is I kind of feel my mouth burning because I do associate the pizza bagel bites with like the microwave and the being way too hot and just burning the roof of your mouth. So I think for that reason alone, I'm going to agree and go with mixed nuts.
Yeah.
And so, wow, look at that. Our final four: pretzels, leftover pizza, wings, and mixed nuts. Are you ready to tackle the left side of the bracket?
Yeah.
Pretzels v. wings.
Wings.
Oh, huh.
Yeah. I mean, this is hard because if I think about my entire experience with wings, they're harder to get right than you think. You know what I mean? And also as a snack, what are you
Mm.
really saying here? You're basically having a meal, an appetizer, now the one thing I'll say is this. The one thing I'll say is this. you can absolutely make them at home. You know what I mean? It'd be one thing
Mhm.
if it was you only can go out for that. Like leftover pizza, pretty much infers that you went out to eat. You know what I mean? So there's a less
Yeah,
universality with that. You know?
I mean, I'm gonna say pretzels, and here's why: is they're universal, they're
Oh,
on the go, they're a part of my daily life. Wings are, I don't know, I have them a handful of times a year, maybe 10 times a year, if that.
mm.
Like, I just, the idea of like pretzels not winning, um, it's just, I don't know, it's just too important for me. So, shall we flip a coin?
Yeah. Let's flip it. You make very good points about this one thing, which is, are wings really a snack? You know what I mean? Are they really a snack?
I don't
But
know.
I know what I'd rather eat, which is wings by a
Hmm.
mile. You
But you
know?
said it is a meal. It's a meal. It's not a snack. Jerry, soup is not a meal.
You know
That's
what?
a Seinfeld
I
reference
don't
for
think I know. No, no, no. I think it's an appetizer. It's not a meal. I would never just be satisfied going. I could make myself full slash sick eating a dozen wings, but I
you.
would never eat wings and call it a day. That is not a meal to me. You
Oh,
know,
okay. Okay, interesting.
it's a shareable at best. You have a couple. You have a couple, but it ain't a meal. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's a shareable, and that falls under snack.
All right, just flip the coin already.
All right, you call it.
Heads. Heads pretz. Heads pretzels.
Ah, pretzels wins. You call it. You always get it.
Yes.
Jesus, I hate this coin. Stupid old dime.
Pretzels, congratulations. You're going to the finals, pretzels.
Ugh. All right.
And this one, I mean, this is a no-brainer for me. I don't know about you, but I mean,
Leftover
leftover
pizza.
pizza.
It's leftover pizza.
Okay.
It's
For,
leftover pizza.
I mean, come on. You'd be
Mixed
crazy.
Nuts had a great run. They're a Cinderella team.
Look, I
They should
can't
be
believe they
happy
made it
they
this
got.
far. The fact that Mixed Nuts even made it to the Final Four, like, that's huge. Like, they were in a rebuilding, like they haven't won since 1962. I mean, like, let's
Yeah,
be
yeah,
real here. Um,
yeah.
it's a developing program. I think it got them a lot of notoriety this season. I think it's going to maybe attract some good players next year. But for real, like, they were never going to be able to be a real contender against leftover pizza, like if we're being
Hmm.
honest. So now we're in the finals, and now we're in the big championship game, and pretzels versus leftover pizza is what we've got.
Hmm.
And Ollie, what does that mean to you? I mean, who are you taking, for the old championship? Who do you
So
got?
here's the thing. Like, I could see if we were just doing a general snack debate, people would say pretzels are no doubt because of accessibility, they're the ultimate snack. However, I think when you make it a dad snack, part of the charm of a dad snack is a dad going, wait a minute, you bend the definition of the rules a little bit. And
Okay.
frankly, in a case like myself, you choose your snacks carefully. And
Mhm.
in the case of, and I'm just going to assume, between you living in New York City and me being pretty picky, I'm very picky about pizza, to be honest. The leftover pizza is going to destroy pretzels. Like the
Yeah.
world's best pretzel will never beat a mid-level but still good leftover pizza. You know,
There,
in
there,
my world, a mid-level.
there is nothing better than going into my fridge, opening up that tinfoil, grabbing a 16th of a slice,
Hmm.
throwing it in the air fryer,
Hmm.
and just 3 minutes later going to town.
And you can eat it cold. The fact that it's leftover pizza snackifies it.
Sure, sure.
It makes it's a snack. It implies it is as convenient as
Yeah.
anything.
Well, shall we pour a case of Gatorade over
Yeah.
somebody?
Over the
Congratulations on that.
pizzaiola.
You are the winner of the March Dadness snack bracket.
All right,
And
so added bonus here. Added bonus here. What's the best pizza to have as leftover?
oh, like the one in your fridge. Like it doesn't matter. I have no preference. I am agnostic. I will actually tell you my favorite pizza is because this is my wife thinks this makes me a real derelict, but buffalo chicken pizza is my favorite, my absolute favorite.
Okay, that's alarming, and we'll have to unpack that later. But you did bring up topping, so I think the best leftover pizza is actually cheese. I'd also allow margarita. I think I love meat on pizza, but the more complex the pizza is, the less the less success you have in the leftover.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think you're going to dry out some chicken if you have a chicken on a pizza. On that second. What? Which I do. I love chicken pizza, man. Even barbecue
No,
chicken.
no, no. I just the idea of dried leftover buffalo chicken pizza
Yeah.
is,
Yeah.
is so massively vile to me.
Not as good.
Um,
Hey, what if
yeah.
you get some ranch or blue cheese, huh?
I mean, this is the thing is like I like those things individually. I just don't think that's pizza. Um,
Yeah.
I don't know. You know,
Well, look,
that's
I think what we've proven here today is we really love sports. And it's this is March Madness season, and if you're like us, or perhaps not like us, like me, you kind of want to be part of it, but you don't actually want to be like part of it. And this is
mhm.
our little way of being part of March Madness without having to watch any basketball. So thanks for coming along, and maybe next year we'll let everybody else do their own bracket, and we'll do it that way, and that'd be kind of fun, huh? What do you think?
You know what I think? I think literally when you did this wrap up, you dropped a little bit of an Obama in there. It was really funny. I was like, as you wrap this up, you did.
Well, now, see, America. The thing about America is we're on a path.